I honestly would put Ball probably A tier.
What?
Torb does have, he's not gonna go invisible on you.
You might as well be invisible.
Tor players
Jump
cannot
away.
aim. Get her out of here. Delete.
Is there an F tier?
Is there a why are you doing this tier? If Rein is swinging on them, I'm damage boosting. I don't even care. I'll let him die. I will damage boost until he dies, and then I'll res him and damage boost until he dies again.
So you know how at the beginning of your season to mid-season, everyone and their mother is just making tier lists? Well, I made a Mercy Pocket tier list with 2 Grandmaster Mercy players, Cosmic and Scotty. It's now the end of season 3. I want to go back and see would I still say the same thing, and most importantly, what I learned from pocketing this hero from season 3. So we're going to go through all the heroes, I'm going to tell you if my opinion changed, and I'll even touch briefly on how this hero will change going forward in season 4 and how I think that'll affect you as a Mercy player. Before we go into this though, let's define the term pocketing. Pocketing does not mean just putting your beam on this one character for the entire match. Pocketing also doesn't mean just damage boosting. In this case, it just means someone who can get a lot of value from damage boost or a lot of value from you healing them as Mercy. Another disclaimer, this is just a very generalized list. Every game is different, so just because a hero is at the bottom of the tier list, it doesn't mean that you should never pocket them. It really depends on your situation and what's going on in your game. With that being said though,
Let's just jump into it.
so where would you place D.Va?
Honestly, I would put D.Va D tier. If I'm with her, she just requires so much healing, and also primarily her benefit, I'd say, would be going in and defense matrixing, which doesn't actually do anything if you damage boost it anyways. And also because they took out damage boost on D.Va's call mech, there's just kind of no reason. The micro missiles kind of do a lot of damage on their own, so that's the only kind of good thing. I feel like it's just not worth it.
I would agree with that. It's really important to pocket her when she's in baby D.Va form because she gets her mech back so fast.
So looking back on this at the end of the season, I would have to agree, nothing really changed for D.Va. D.Va is just one of those heroes that I don't think will ever be a good pocket target for Mercy, and that's just because her main value comes from her defense matrix, which Mercy obviously can't damage boost. Honestly, the only reason she's even up here is because of her baby D.Va form. We have to hard pocket her during her baby D.Va form just so she can stay alive and get her mech back. It doesn't seem like there will be significant changes coming to D.Va in season 4, so I'm pretty sure that she'll stay where she is. Ball is next.
I feel like he's just good to pocket on the engage, but after that, he just kind of just rolls away.
Ball's slam is really good to pocket if he's close to you, but most of the time he's not gonna be that close to you. If the other support is busy with something and he rolls back and he needs heals, he's great for ult charge. And that's about it though.
I honestly would put Ball probably A tier.
What?
I love damage boosting Ball. His execute is already really fast. If you can get damage boosted on him when he slams, someone is dead. There's kind of no doubt about it. They would have to like invest Suzu for someone to live. I love playing with Ball. Like, probably my favorite tank to play with actually. Anytime he's nearby, exactly like you would do with Hog Hook. If you see Hog get a hook, you would flick your damage boost to him. If you do that with Ball's pile drive, he just does so much damage. And it's not like I have to go in and help him because he can do stuff on his own, but every time he's close, that's something that I want to pocket.
Okay.
It's pretty situational though.
A lot of the times it's like in a situation it's really good, but you wouldn't want to do it all the time.
I wouldn't follow Ball, but every time he's close, I would damage boost.
Maybe
Maybe B tier.
I'd go with C.
I wouldn't even put Ball and D.Va on close to the same level.
I will have to agree Ball is higher than D.Va.
I cannot believe I'm saying this, but honestly, I agree with Cosmic. Throughout the video, he kept trying to get us to put Ball higher up, and now I'm gonna do it. As the season progressed, there were more and more Ball players, and I felt like people really got the hang of playing Ball. Most importantly though, I feel like Ball has a different playstyle compared to previous seasons or Overwatch 1, where he plays a lot closer to the team. Or maybe it's just the way the new maps are designed, but I found myself having a lot more opportunities to help my Ball player. And Cosmic was right, having that damage boost on the Ball is really strong. With his health buffs in season 3, you can also push damage boost on him a lot more. So yeah, for that reason, I push Ball up a tier. Now my thoughts may change in season 4 because while Ball isn't receiving direct changes, Brig is getting her stun back. My prediction is that this will change Ball's playstyle and may cause Ball to play out of Mercy's range again.
Orisa. I like pocketing Orisa.
This is so broken.
It's really good to pocket her ult. Her javelin is super good to damage boost. And she's very tanky with her fortifies. You have some space to not heal her and damage boost her instead. I would choose around A or B.
Yeah, I'd put her around B because she's hard to kill as is. So with a pocket, that's even more scary. She javelin someone with her ult, get a lot of value.
I would put B tier too. Her abilities and her damage are all just good. You can damage boost everything.
So at the time we were recording this, Orisa was still considered super broken. I think she's still good now. She can stay where she is, but I've seen less and less Orisas. I think the meta just shifted to favor tanks like Ramattra or very mobile tanks like Ball or Doom. I still think that she lacks kill potential, but her ult is still very good at damage boost as it can get you kills that you otherwise wouldn't have gotten. I don't think Orisa's playstyle will change that much in Season 4. If anything, with the existence of Lifeweaver and a very buffed Brig in Season 4, damage boosting her ult will be more important than ever.
Thoughts on Zarya?
I think she's one of the better tanks pocket in terms of getting value out of the hero. I feel like if Zarya has a pocket, she can like shine more in what she's good at, which is just damage. I'd put her around B as well, just because she's not as good as the other heroes. But if we're talking about pocketing, personally, I love pocketing Zarya.
I think Zarya A tier. Damage boost on Zarya makes Zarya significantly better, whereas damage boost on Orisa makes someone who's already busted just like a little bit more busted.
When she has no energy, it kind of feels like a waste of time to pocket her. She's not at close range. It's also kind of a waste of time to pocket her. I want to put her like lower down in A tier as we go on.
I don't think there was much change to Zarya. She has always been a strong pick for Mercy to pocket, just not when she's low charge. So that's why she's staying in the same place. I have seen more Wrecking Balls than I have seen Zarya's. That's the only reason Ball is in front of Zarya, but I feel like they're honestly interchangeable. Going into Season 4, it's going to be more crucial than ever to damage boost Zarya when she grabs or to be damage boosting other DPS that are shooting into her grav. In Season 4, there are so many ways to get out of her grav. Lifeweaver can pull you out of grav, he can pedal form, Brig can ult, Lifeweaver can ult. So damage boosting whoever it is when Zarya grabs is going to be more important than ever.
Ramattra's next. I'll say I love pocketing his ult because I think that's funny. It was a lot funnier when the ult didn't end. I still like it though.
20 seconds is a long time.
I would probably put Ramattra B tier because I really only want to pocket him like when he's ulting. When he's like in his like normal form, he's just like not worth it.
Shooting pebbles.
Yeah, but his ult is like I will invest Valk for his ult.
So B sounds good.
I feel like he's between Orisa and Ball.
Argue past Ball,
Pass ball.
but I think Ball is better.
Cosmic.
I really only care about his ult.
Okay.
I am a avid like y'all should damage boost your Ball.
This is a big shock to me.
I love Ball players.
What the heck?
Wow.
If you treat them with like an ounce of like attention, they will also like pick you up and like take you out of the most horrendous situations
Really?
because you just like help them a little bit. If you just like put damage boost on them a little bit, they're like, yes, I love you, Mercy. Thank you for letting me stay aggressive.
Whoever your Ball duo is, give me his battle ID right now.
Getting into the politics of it, I didn't see it that way.
I have seen so many Ramattras this season and I feel like I was kind of off about my initial judgment of him. Depending on what comp you're running, it actually is pretty easy to damage boost his punches if he turns around and peels for you while people are diving your backline. Something I didn't consider was how his Nemesis form interacted with Mercy's buffed healing. Nemesis form gives him more armor and Mercy's healing for heroes below 50% HP can help keep Ramattra alive until he gets to Nemesis form again for the extra armor. So I moved Ramattra up. I actually moved him before Zarya. I just think his ult is so strong. It's so good pocket. I think he can help guarantee kills with his punches more than you can help Zarya guarantee kills. However, going into Season 4, I think this will change. I think it's going to be really hard to pocket Ramattra in Season 4 given that Mercy has a much longer cooldown on her Guardian Angel and that her healing was reverted back to how it was in Season 2, which means that she doesn't have buffed healings on heroes below 50% HP. My prediction is that we will just be pocketing Ramattra's ult in Season 4 and otherwise just kind of leaving him to do his own thing.
Hog's next.
He's D tier. He's gotta be. His whole kit is to one shot, and all you did was damage boost to one shot. He's mostly self-reliant. He does his own thing, and you just pocket when he hooks. But now with the reduced damage, I guess it is more important now since he does have reduced damage.
It's so important
Yeah,
to pocket
true.
his hook now. That's why I wouldn't put him in D tier.
Maybe another base take from me.
No.
I would put him like top of B tier.
Who are you?
Wow,
Because
that's the
so like
reason.
as a tank, he's not great, but if your team is running Hog, he is someone that you need to damage boost, otherwise he's going to get absolutely no value.
That is true. That is also true.
I guess he does need it.
Like, I think it's more important to damage boost him over Orisa, but I wouldn't put him as A tier because he's still situational.
Remember when everyone was complaining about Hog? When this was recorded, Hog just got nerfed, and I don't think we realized how hard he got nerfed. Pretty much the only time I see Hog is when the tank is angry and wants to lose, so he just picked Hog to grief the team. It seems like even with damage boost, the person he's hooking will survive, and that's usually because they have Suzu. If I have a Hog on my team now, I'll just pretty much ignore him, so that's why he goes in D tier. I have a hard time seeing Hog being good in season 4. I think Lifeweaver can just pull his teammates away from Hog's hook, so damage boosting his hook is probably going to be very important if you do have a Hog on your team. I think the biggest change to pocketing a Hog though is damage boosting his ult. Hog's ult can delete Lifeweaver's Tree of Life, so if your Hog is ulting to delete Lifeweaver's ult, you should definitely prioritize pocketing him so he can delete that ult quicker.
Ooh, Sigma's next.
I really like Sigma. I put him A tier. His damage output is insane.
I would say higher than Zarya. He has more range than Zarya, more consistency. He doesn't rely on energy. He's way more consistent with his damage. So that's why I would put him above Zarya.
He builds ult really fast
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah, when you pocket him, he builds ult insanely fast.
Primary fires is like
Yeah.
half his ult right there.
He could easily get like the most damage in the lobby if you just pocket him.
For real. I feel
Fire
like
he
Circuit
should.
Royale,
Oh yeah,
I
so good.
always find myself pocketing Sig on that map.
If your DPS are flopping on Circuit Royale, just go pocket Sig. It's literally more worth
So
it.
true.
I still stand by what we said about Sigma. He still goes in A tier. In season 4, Sigma is getting a damage nerf. Against 200 HP targets, he can no longer one-shot combo with his rock and primary fire. Damage boosting Sigma when he throws out his rock in season 4 is going to be more important than ever, as you can still help Sigma secure his one-shot combo with damage boost. Alright, Monkey's next.
D tier. I could damage boost his right clicks, but like, why?
I mean,
He just
yeah.
tickles no matter what.
I wouldn't say he's useless to pocket, because also his cleave, he can get his ult fast and stuff, but probably D tier.
The only thing that
His
is
jump,
like,
maybe?
yeah, his landing jump I think is really good because he can kill someone much faster. Other than
Yeah, especially
that,
they jump melee.
I think he requires too much healing.
Two situations. Because when are you flying behind a monkey? I mean,
yeah, when are
you
you?
can.
You could, but like you also could just go pocket someone else.
Nothing much has changed for Monkey either. He still stays in D tier. Something that we didn't mention was how detrimental it is now to pocket diving heroes like Monkey with such a long cooldown on your GA. It's just not worth it to go all these extra lengths to damage boost his jump melee combo. You'd have to reverse just slingshot GA. There are some cases where that may be useful, but it puts you in a lot of danger just for him to deal a little bit extra damage. This can be more true going into season 4 with Mercy's guardian angel being nerfed even harder and Brig being buffed with her stun. I think Winston is going to stay D tier going into season 4.
I have a hot take about Ryan.
Me too.
Oh wait, hold on. Then I don't think it's a hot take if we both have it.
It's not a hot take.
Do we all love
We all-
pocketing
Ryan
Ryan?
is tier.
We all love Ryan.
If Ryan is swinging on them, I'm damage boosting. I don't even care. I'll let him die. I will damage boost until he dies, and then I'll rest him and damage boost him until he dies again.
If you enable your Reinhardt, he can take over a lobby. He gets shatters every fight. People just melt. Like his hammer, what does it do now? 90 swing? He two shots people basically with damage boost.
Yeah, and the buff on Fire Strike.
That's
Two
true.
fire strikes, so good at damage boost. I love damage boosting him when he's against another Ryan and he just gets shatter so much faster than the other Ryan and it throws the
Yes.
other Ryan off. It's like so satisfying.
I don't know about S tier though.
Yeah,
Just
I think
because
we did go kind of
he kind of got excited, but
yeah.
Because it is more situational since he is locked to that close range only. You know, fire strike, you can damage with fire strikes, but you can't really always tell him to call it or like predict it all the time. You know, so,
To tell though when you look at them.
yeah.
tell.
Like they put down shield and you're like, okay, now's the time for me to flick my damage boost to them.
Sometimes I
Yeah,
do it when I think that he's gonna fire strike and he doesn't fire strike for like an awkwardly long time.
You're like, hello?
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna use it?
I think B tier. I think B tier.
Ooh, that's
Whoa,
I
that's a little
well,
too low.
It's
yeah.
because we're talking about only pocketing, right? You're not always gonna be damage boosting your Ryan. Like you're usually gonna be damage boosting the DPS that are being protected by him, right?
Okay,
like I
actually,
always want to be pocketing the DPS more, but like if I were to pocket the tank, Ryan is the tank I want to pocket.
I would still prefer to pocket the other two above him on A tier right now, which is Sigma and
Yeah.
Zarya. But I wouldn't want to put him below Hog, you know?
We can.
I
change it.
could put him at the end of A tier.
Yeah, Ryan stays the same as well. I honestly don't see Ryan very often. Just be sure you aren't heal botting on your Ryan when he's full health. Just help him out when he's in a brawl, damage boost his swings, and he's a great pocket target for Mercy. In the upcoming season, if you do have a Ryan on your team and the enemy team has a Brig, helping your Ryan while he's brawling is going to be more important than ever because that stun on Ryan is going to be really detrimental for him.
Okay, Junkerqueen,
If-
I like pocketing her.
Oh man, I don't like Junkerqueen, but
Oh, I
she
like
does
her.
get a lot of value out of pocket. You know, her bleed, her ultimate is really good too. And
But you
her
have
act.
to keep the beam on her the whole time, which is so annoying.
Because she
Yeah.
goes so far away usually.
Yeah, and now that GA is on like an infinite cooldown, I'd probably put her just past Hog. I'd rather pocket a Junkerqueen over an Orisa, but
Yeah,
And she has high burst.
she does.
I put Junkerqueen below Orisa. I stopped seeing a lot of Junkerqueens. Sadly, I do still like her, but what Cosmic said about Junkerqueen's ult pulling her in too far and you not being able to damage boost the entire duration of it honestly affected her more than I thought it would. If you don't know what he's talking about, basically you have to damage boost the entire duration of her ult, which means if you take her beam off of her ult, even after she stopped casting it and everyone's still antied, you will stop damage boosting that ult. And because her ult literally is her charging into the entire enemy team, it's really hard to keep your beam on it the entire time unless you're in Valk. An interesting interaction I heard for season 4 is that when Junkerqueen ults, Lifeweaver can actually pull her back into your team. If your team has that level of coordination, then be sure to look out for it and damage boost Junkerqueen throughout her ult in season 4.
Doomfist is next.
I don't like them.
why?
Before you could pocket his slam sort of, right? With the GA before it was nerfed. But now it's just like I don't even bother with Doomfist anymore.
Yeah, there's just no point.
Like I'm just gonna die.
Yeah, Overwatch 1, I feel like every once in a while I would just get a Doomfist and be like, okay, show me your coolest rollouts. And then I would just follow them.
Just follow them.
But now it's like not even fun.
No.
If he's close to me and he goes for a punch, I'll pocket that punch because you can just do it really quickly. So that's it for tanks. Do you guys have any more adjustments before I move on to DPS?
I'm still looking at Ryan. Just because he's so yeah, I don't know.
Some people in my chat are saying that Ramattra should be a little higher.
I think so too.
I could see him being higher than Orisa.
He's not always an ult, and that's when you get the most value, but he does have Nemesis form, and it's pretty fast cooldown. I don't know if he's higher than B tier.
One thing I would say, the issue with that is he's usually like super close to the enemy, and that's where I don't want to be kind of. I want to back up a little more when he's punching into the enemy.
I think he's fine where he's at.
Nothing much changed about Doomfist. I think he still belongs in D tier. He is terrible to pocket now with the GA nerf. Just so painful. There's been a lot of times this season where damage boosting his punch has granted us kills, but I'm not able to get that damage boost on him consistently. It's going to be even harder to pocket Doomfist in the upcoming season with Mercy's GA being nerfed. I'd approach pocketing Doomfist with the same kind of idea in season 4 as I did in season 3, which is help him when I can, but if I can, I'm not going to risk my life for him.
Bastion.
A tier?
Easily A tier.
I'm just gonna put him
People
above
also
six.
sleep on.
I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
put him
you could-
above six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
above 6. I mean, obviously his turret, prime pocketing time. But people also sleep on his right click. He sticks someone with his right click. That's so much damage. He can like 3-shot people with his left click. Yeah, he has high burst. Definitely above 6.
Yeah, you're right about his little magnetic grenade thing. I forgot its name, but it's basically like the Cassidy homing missile.
It like bounces off of everything. You're like, why? I don't know how many times you're gonna bounce, but it's gonna somehow get stuck to me.
I honestly don't think that Bastion will ever move away from A tier. He's just one of those heroes that will always benefit from damage boost. He always plays at a good range for Mercy to pocket, and I don't think much of that is going to change next season.
Cassidy's our next guy. Cassidy got a buff in season 3 with his range.
S tier.
S tier.
He's in must pocket. In my opinion, if you play Mercy, you must pocket your Cass because he's the hard carry now. He's the old Sojourn in my eyes. He's basically a little sniper.
I want to say this now because I feel like a lot of times when I have Cass, I also have Soldier. I will always pocket Cass over Soldier because Soldier can heal himself, and I like pocketing Cass's nade way more.
And considering the GA cooldown's now longer, you can't really escape that. He can run away, you can't most of the time if he gets run down really fast. But with Cassidy, he has 2 abilities that reduce damage to himself. And he has 225 HP. There's times where we get dove and I'm just healing him through it. And he has his roll, which does 50% reduction in damage. And his ultimate, which does 30%. We're just like 2 tanks. On top of that, his damage, yeah, S tier every day.
Cassidy's range buff in season 3 has been phenomenal. So obviously pocketing Cassidy has been really strong, but it's going to be even more important going into season 4. Cassidy is getting his health pool reduced and his magnetic grenade damage reduced as well. So while pocketing Cassidy has been strong this season, it's going to be even better next season. If you help him survive and damage boost his magnetic grenade, you can help make up for his nerfs in season 4.
Echo's next. I think Echo should be in the first slot of S tier. You like have to pocket Echo, and her stickies are really good, her ult's really good to pocket. You have to kind of wait for her to use her movement ability and then you use yours, otherwise you get left behind with the GA cooldown.
You need to pocket her more than a Cass. And her ult's a lot harder to build now than Overwatch 1.
I feel like most of the time Echoes are just doing it to survive as opposed to making flashy plays.
Echo's a flying hero. She's always going to be an S tier because she needs your help, but with Mercy's Guardian Angel cooldown, she's just really annoying to pocket. Echo wants to go for fast assassinations from off angles, which means you likely have to follow her. I can see this being an issue in season 4. I feel like I'm going to have a tough time keeping up with Echo, but it is what it is. We still have to follow Echo. My main advice is if your Echo player seems like she doesn't know how to use cover and is constantly dying in the open, only follow her when you're sure you can get to cover.
So I really used to like pocketing Genji. Now I can't do it anymore. It's impossible. I'll just do it in Valk. He literally went from the most fun hero to pocket for me to being the worst.
I feel like before I would have put him like top of A tier. Now I feel like I just put him at bottom of A tier. I think now with damage boost, he's capable of achieving what he used to. You just have to be very cognizant of your positioning. And sometimes you do have to leave your Genji and hope he can get out on his own.
I would put him above Reinhardt because Reinhardt has so much downtime.
Genji was a hard hero to pocket in season 3 and is going to be a hard hero to pocket in season 4. Pocket Genji when you can and when he's near you, but if he goes out of range and you're gonna die because you can't get your GA cooldown back fast enough to escape, you definitely shouldn't go with your Genji. So for that reason, while pocketing Genji is really good and damage boost on Genji can get a lot done, he's not gonna go in a higher tier just because of how hard it is to pocket him without dying.
Hanzo.
I would probably put him after Bastion. I like pocketing him. I like pocketing Storm Arrow, but he can one-shot on his own. So I feel like he's not as valuable as like pocketing a Bastion turret form.
He's fine on his own. I feel like he's not going to die too often. And if he dies, it's probably in a sniper duel. I'll just go res him.
It's true.
His Storm Arrows are really good though. Sure, but that's literally the only thing in his kit that's like super good to pocket because he can't pocket his ult.
Well, the initial arrow you can. Like the arrow that he shoots out for his ult. It's so random.
Is he below Genji?
No.
I don't think so.
I'm actually going to move Hanzo up a tier. I ended up really liking pocketing him in season 3. It's not because he got buffed or anything, he just plays in a good position for me as Mercy. A lot of people ended up picking Hanzo and the other DPS would be something like Tracer or Genji, which was a lot harder for me to pocket. Hanzo being able to get a pick at the beginning of the fight helps your team so much, especially when abilities like Suzu and Lamp exist in the game. So I ended up hard pocketing Hanzo a lot more than I expected. I don't think there will be much changes to pocketing Hanzo in season.
Okay, I have a hot take about Junkrat, though I don't even know if my hot takes are hot takes anymore. I think he's really good to pocket.
I think that there are good times to pocket Junkrat and there are bad times to pocket Junkrat. When he's spamming to deny space, it's not super valuable, but when he's like semi-close range to someone, then absolutely go for it. He's gonna like destroy them and make them tilt.
I have a big bias towards Junkrat since I'm a Junkrat enjoyer, but he does have restrictions where there's a lot of downtime. His left clicks, I'm not gonna say it's random, it's calculated. He's usually like bound to like pocket them if they're close type thing.
I would probably put him after ball. I think he's just so much more situational.
Yeah.
Or like
Man.
he doesn't even usually know when he's gonna get a kill.
That is a good point.
I think he's high B. That's as low as I'll go. Just because
I could see him anywhere B tier.
Do you think he's below Reinhardt though?
I think he is.
Yeah.
Not much has changed in terms of pocketing Junkrat, and I don't think much will change. Damage boosting burst damage is always great, but the issue with Junkrat has always been his consistency. I'll pay extra attention to Junkrat from mid to close range, or if he's going for some crazy aerial flank, but other than that, I'll try to pocket someone with more long range accuracy.
I like pocketing May's freeze. I like the ticking sounds and it does so much damage. She has to be like so close to them now.
On top of them.
People just Suzu out of May's Blizzard. It's so hard for me to tell. I played with probably one May this season.
Yeah, I haven't played with a lot of Mays.
I
I'd
think
probably
she's-
put her like top D tier. I don't
Yeah.
really want to pocket her,
I
but
think she's better than D.Va.
I like damage boosting micro missiles more than I like damage boosting anything May has.
Her right clicks do a lot of damage. She is very self-sufficient in terms of like beam up time. Like
She also like blocks and it will like mess you up
Beam.
because it breaks beam. And you can't GA to her either. I'm like, cool. Thanks, May.
All right, guess I'll die.
I think May is better than D.Va.
She is pretty powerful against Orisa right now too.
Her freeze gun. It actually does a lot of damage now. If they don't pay attention to her, you're gonna die in like a second or two.
That's
So,
true.
She's a little bit better than D.Va.
Nothing different for May here. I ended up playing with more Mays than I expected as the season went on, and the biggest issue with pocketing May is just her inconsistency at long range. Every time I see May using the freezing portion of her gun, you know, the part of her gun that's not her icicles, I make sure to damage boost her, and I don't really care if her health goes down because she can just ice block. I think that's going to be even more important going into season 4. Remember, Lifeweaver can reposition his teammates, Kiriko can still Suzu, Brig can boop and stun May, so getting that damage boost on May whenever she's freezing someone should be your top priority when pocketing May.
We all like Ashe, I'm assuming.
S tier. She was designed to be pocketed. Everything about her kid.
Yeah.
Just so much better with pocket. You can even pocket Bob. Probably better than Echo in my opinion.
I
And
would rather pocket an Ashe over a Pharah and Echo, but I feel like I'm throwing if I
Yeah,
do that. I think she has to be below Pharah and Echo, but I wish she wasn't. We just are forced to pocket Pharah and Echo.
I also really like her coach gun because if you're getting dived, she can save you guys by coaching the diver away.
When you're backing up from a fight together, oftentimes they end up getting too close to you so you can't GA anymore. But because she coach guns, it makes more than enough distance for you to actually GA to them.
That's true.
I think no matter what, it's going to be very hard to remove Ashe from this S tier position. No matter what the meta is, I always enjoy pocketing Ashe. She plays at a great range for Mercy, she plays safe, she has CC. You can damage boost every single aspect of her kit. It's going to be even more important in season 4, so in season 4, Ashe can't gain any alt charge as long as Bob is active. Depending on the circumstance, damage boosting Bob could even be more valuable than damage boosting Ashe. But the most important thing is once Bob isn't active anymore, damage boosting Ashe to help get her alt charge back as fast as possible is going to be so important.
I always have Pharah at the very top because she just needs me.
I think that Pharah's more consistent than Echo too.
also she has better movement. Now with the new passive where you heal her faster, she can play really far, like compared to how Echo has to play.
I played with the Pharah the other day. We went to the very, very top of Lijiang Tower, the one that's outside. We literally just played the skybox for the whole game.
With the GA cooldown, her movement's better for Mercy to keep up with.
Just like everyone else in S tier, it's going to be very hard to remove Pharah from this S tier. She's a flying hero. Mercy excels at pocketing flying heroes, though in season 4, it's going to be even harder. It's a lot easier to keep up with Pharah than it is to keep up with Echo though, so we're just going to have to try and do our best.
Do you guys get a lot of Reapers in your games?
I
Yes.
do. I get a Reaper pretty much every time the enemy goes monkey.
Against Ball, I see him a lot too. He's got to be better than Junkrat. He is just constrained by the range.
Damage boosting him while shooting their tank
Yeah,
is
and he
insanely good.
Crazy. I wouldn't put him past B. He's always going to be constrained by shotguns.
His ult is really good to pocket now, like even better.
I ended up really enjoying pocketing Reaper throughout the season. I saw him more than I expected. I don't think much changed in terms of pocketing Reaper, though I really enjoyed pushing damage damage boost as much as possible. Given that Lifeweaver can pull people out of his ult, I think damage boosting his ult is going to be even more important in Season 4. Also, don't forget that Brig can stun him out of his ult. So going forward, I think it's going to be super important to damage boost his ult before people try and react and save their teammates from his ult.
Okay, Sojourn.
She's definitely not as good as before. Well, now that she can't one-shot as easy, I think you do fill in the gaps a lot with damage boost. I'd put her low S tier.
I think she's technically above Ashe. Sojourn needs Mercy, but Mercy would rather be with Ashe.
It's hard to get biases out just because they also nerfed her left click spread. Her left click spread's really bad now.
I saw Sojourn less and less as the season went on. There was a change mid-season where you can no longer pocket her SMG to help her gain charge for her railgun. If I didn't see that her railgun was charged, I would just swap to someone else, as it feels almost pointless to damage boost her SMG at long range. However, if she was charged, she becomes a must pocket, as in must damage boost, as she can one-shot with your damage boost. One thing that I found annoying was that if she used her slide and you just use your GA, you kind of can't follow her anymore. I can see that being more annoying in Season 4, so going forward, just be aware on if Sojourn has used her slide or not, and just try to coordinate your GA with it.
Soldier got a buff. His spread was reduced, so he can do more concentrated damage.
Soldier's always going to be that cut and dry, shoot things. Pocket's obviously good for that. So I think he's always going to be good to pocket.
I think he's like perma bottom S tier though.
Or top A, I'd argue, just because
Okay.
he's kind of self-sufficient. He's got the legs, you know. A lot of times he's relying on a, you know, flank one shot with his right click.
Yeah,
So I'd say top A, better than Bastion.
Honestly, yeah, I'd agree with that.
I can get behind that.
The reason Soldier isn't in S tier is because of his heal pad. It kind of feels like a waste to try and save Soldier when the other DPS doesn't have self heals and Soldier does. Obviously, it's very situational, but that was the main reason why Soldier wasn't in S tier for us. I don't think much will ever change about Soldier, so he can stay here.
Oh my gosh, I don't see Sombra anymore.
Get her out of here. Delete.
Is there an F tier?
Is there a why are you doing this tier?
Sure.
Delete character, please.
Pocketing Sombra just like objectively bad.
I mean, there's not much to say.
If she's cloaked, you're giving her away. She doesn't really do that much damage.
You never see her the whole game.
Just like translocates and abandons you wherever she took you.
Wherever she, the most situational hero out of everyone, I think.
When she hacks someone and you damage boost her, that's good, but it's like also when is that gonna happen?
Yeah. Like why am I where she can execute someone? Look, that's in pretty far.
In their spawn.
Or they're like way out of position.
So I feel like I owe an apology to Sombra players. Surprisingly, I did change my mind as the season went on, and that's because of Ball. With Ball being meta, some Sombra players would wait for Ball to roll in, hack him, and I would damage boost Sombra, and we would basically delete Ball, to a point where the tank player had to switch off Ball. So in this particular instance, damage boosting Sombra was actually super valuable. However, going forward, I don't think that this will be the case anymore. Sombra likely will go back to her super flanky playstyle and likely go back to being out of Mercy's reach. For this season though, I will move Sombra up a tier.
I love Sim. Is that a hot take?
No,
I really like pocketing
yeah.
Sim too, but sometimes she does nothing.
It really depends on if they have shields or...
I would put her after Junkrat B tier. She's pretty good most of the time, but when she's not good, she's really bad. Well, but when she's high charge, she's so strong.
In terms of pocketing, she'll get more value than a Junkerqueen, in my opinion. Just she needs it more. I mean, Junkerqueen needs it a lot too, but I don't know. She's always going to be constrained by those ranges as well. I mean, her right click does do a lot of damage.
Maybe after Hog, but before Junkerqueen? Oh wait, I have mine a little different than you. I have Reaper Junk Hog. Sim Junkerqueen, yeah.
The circumstances of her having to get high charge is so specific. They have to be on a shield hero. She has to beam the shield like long enough to get the charge and be at close range.
I mean, assuming ideal circumstances that this person is playing Sim, realistically, that's not like super true.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Like Sim players are Sim players.
Yeah, they're just gonna play Sim.
But
Like
also,
when Sim is ideal, I think that she just benefits so much from having Mercy.
since we're talking about pocketing, right? Not just damage boost. Since she gets dove a lot and like they focus her, like if you keep her alive past the first ramp up, yeah, you kind of enable her to get to her best state, which is level 2 or level 3 beam or whatever.
I guess I owe an apology to sim players as well. I duoed with a sim player at one point this season, and the pocket on sim was actually super good. Like Scotty said, keeping sim alive through dives and stuff enables sim a lot. She can also peel for you by putting up turrets around you, so that was actually super helpful as well. So it's not necessarily that sim needs your pocket or will destroy people with your pocket, but the longer you as Mercy and sim stay alive, the stronger you guys will become. I'm moving her up a little bit. I think honestly she's pretty underrated to pocket. When people think about pocketing, they're just thinking about the benefits of damage boosting. But I think the strength of pocketing Sim here is simply keeping her alive with your healing and her shield regen health pool. I don't think pocketing Sim is going to change much going forward.
You guys know my thoughts about Torb.
Oh no, I love Torb.
Torb. I think Torb is above Sombra.
Yes, I agree.
Above May.
Do not say that again.
Torb's gotta be
No,
above
Torb is in
May.
the same tier as Sombra.
Yeah. Thank you, Cosmic.
Why are you doing that?
Okay, I guess it depends. But Torb does have, you know, he's not gonna go invisible on you.
Torb players
Jump
cannot
away.
aim.
And now we're playing on biases.
He might as well be invisible.
I don't know. I'm a Torb enjoyer myself. Maybe I'm, but
Torbs that hit their shots like are worth damage boosting, but like I
realistically,
feel like most of the time they just don't. If I could damage boost turret, it would be different, but
I think
I can't.
it's fair to say we treat him like Reaper. He's just like a worse Reaper. I think he's better than May, or right maybe below.
Wow.
Better than D.Va at least.
I guess like you could argue he's better than May because May has self-sustain and she can stay alive better than Torb, so you have to pocket Torb. Me and Cosmic think why are you doing that is a tier that Torb should be in, and Scotty, you said C tier, right? Above May.
I think he's C tier. I think he's gotta be. If we're comparing him from Winston and Doomfist, I think he's better than those.
Is
And
he?
D.Va.
I could put him at top of D tier.
I mean, if I have a Doomfist, I'd rather like pocket Doomfist punch and slam
Dude,
over to Torb.
That's
I
crazy.
would too.
That's crazy.
I would rather pocket a monkey tickle.
You
Sorry
know
for all
that.
the Torbs out there.
You know Monkey's hitting his shots for sure.
Oh no, the poor Torbs, man.
Pocketing
No.
Torb, ending with like 60 damage.
It's okay. Nobody mains Torb anyways, except for Silvog.
Hear me out.
Silvog crying in the corner.
Now, if you're able to damage boost the turret, we'd be having a different discussion.
Oh, he would be S tier.
You'd be S 100%.
Number one, best play.
I tried. All the Torbs out there.
Okay, so I did end up moving Torb up. I just felt like our initial reaction to Torb was a little bit too harsh. I think Torb kind of falls into the same category as Sim, where he doesn't really benefit that much from damage boost. I mean, it can help him, but the real benefit is keeping him alive. Keeping him alive means more turret uptime, and if they have a bunch of flankers and stuff, having that turret there to deter them can be pretty helpful. Especially with the GA nerf, it's harder to get away from flankers and stuff now. There were times where I was thankful that Torb was there to help peel for the backline. I think that's going to change into season 4 because I don't think that dive is going to be as prevalent in season 4. I could be completely off about that. I do think if it's a situation where Torb won't be helping you stay alive, he's just kind of not a great damage boost target.
Oh my gosh, I hate having Tracer on my team. I'm gonna say it.
Me too.
He's terrible.
When she's close, damage boost on Tracer does like so much.
Does do a lot.
But she's just always gone, or will just like randomly recall and leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere.
Never trusting a Tracer. In terms of pocketing, you're not doing much pocketing. You're just mostly healing her up for her to go on her adventure.
Yeah, if she blinks past me, I'm gonna damage boost her until it breaks, but
Where should she go?
above May.
Not as
Yeah, I
good.
feel like pocketing Tracer better than pocketing May, but like neither of you should get damage boost.
They're just C tier.
Nothing has changed my opinion about Tracer. I still do not like having Tracer on my team. There's just not much I can do to help her, and she doesn't peel for the backline. I think in Season 4, if you're trying to force Tracer into an enemy Brig, it will be even more important to pocket Tracer doing Valk to try and help her secure some kills in the backline.
Me and Right Click have this hot take about Widow where we like to pocket Widow and damage boost her. Not if she's hiding, you know, then it's like really bad to pocket her.
I'd say like top of C tier, bottom of B tier for me. If they have a Tracer, then she's good to pocket just because she can one-shot body shot, but most of the time she doesn't really need me.
I think she's got to be B. She has a lot more range than these other heroes. Damage boosting a Widow is always going to be better than damage boosting a Mei, right?
In
Yeah.
terms of healing, she needs a lot of help if she's getting dove.
That's true.
Also, damage boost SMG.
What?
Damage boost SMG is really good.
Who says that?
Oh, when she gets dope, if you damage boost her SMG when she's getting dope, she can melt people.
Why is your Widow SMG?
Well,
We're just gonna leave it
it's
at
really
that.
good, so-
I'm gonna say she's above these tanks because you have to help her.
Yeah.
Wait, someone was like, hear me out, Widow, SMG, and Kiriko ult. What are you guys on?
I'm playing Widow like Soldier. Watch out.
Top B, top B.
If you're getting dove and you have Reaper and Widow, you would obviously try to help your Widow more. Reaper gets the life steal from shooting at people.
True, but Reaper's ult is important to pocket. That's why he's so far up in B tier. Whereas Widow in her natural state. So what if you build her ult really fast? Like you have sights? Cool. Congratulations.
Nothing much has changed for Widow. I actually didn't end up liking Widow that much throughout the season just because she needed so much help when people started diving her. But yeah, she stays where she is, and I think she'll stay where she is in Season 4 as well.
Ana.
I love pocketing Ana. Me personally, I would put her above Reaper. But like, girl, you should be healing.
If I'm damage boosting her and we're both doing that, it's like who's healing the team? She needs a lot of help when she gets dove.
Yeah,
If there's a Pharah too, I really like pocketing my Ana if we don't have
Oh,
any
me
hit
too.
scans.
and she has no damage fall off either.
I don't know. I would put her above Junkrat. I think her damage is more
I
consistent.
think that's fair, putting her above Junk.
As the season went on, I noticed that I had less and less opportunity to damage boost Ana. Maybe it's because of how prevalent dive became. Damage boosting Ana when she's fighting off flankers like Genji or Tracer is super effective because she does so much damage with damage boost. A lot of the times I almost wish I had a Kiriko instead of an Ana because of how immobile Ana is. However, she still stays in the same tier just because you have to peel for her and damage boost on her is so good. She did get a small sleep nerf in Season 4. Basically, tanks that are slept will be slept for a shorter amount of time. That doesn't really affect how we pocket her though, and I think she'll be the same in terms of pocketing. Maybe we'll have more room to damage boost her though.
Baptiste.
I would put him at bottom of A tier. I think Bap
Yeah.
is super slept on.
100%.
If you have a Bap and everyone's healthy, let's say I have Tracer Junk, I'll pocket Bap. Bap will get it done.
Bap's insane. He's better than some DPS, arguably, when it comes to like 1v1ings. With the pocket, that's crazy. Bottom of A is where I'd put him to.
I think he is one of, if not the best support to pocket. I mean, Zen's good too. I think Bap bottom A tier.
His shift is really good to save both of you.
And he can lamp your reses.
I agree, Bap is such a good support to pocket in terms of damage, and he peels for you so well. So not much to say about Bap. He goes in the same tier, and going forward, I still think he'll go in the same tier as well.
Brig. Brig is really good pocket. Well, you have to pocket her because you're on Mercy, Brig.
If you have Tracer Sombra Ball, that's about it. I don't know what other comp.
She's really limited because of her range, unfortunately.
I'm not too fond of pocketing Brigs. I mean, obviously, you heal them. You
Yeah,
peel for
me
them.
either.
Peel for them.
I feel like somewhere C tier.
Probably bottom thing. It gotta be. No.
I think Brig has so much self-sustain.
if your Brig's dying off cooldown, that's her. She's definitely a good peel target when we're talking
Like,
about-
you're supposed to heal her, but I don't know that it, like, damage boost gets...
I think it gets a lot of value when she gets dove. She can delete a Tracer,
What?
primary and then bash to kill Tracer. Well, okay, I guess that's it. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
In my head, it was
I-
like a lot more.
I think she's below D.Va, in my opinion.
That's
She's
what I feel like
C3.
too.
Just because you're connected to D.Va a lot more than a Brig.
There are a lot of changes coming up for Brig. She has a huge AoE stun in her ult now. Her rally grants her instant armor and gradual overhealth for her allies. I think it's going to be really important to keep Brig up until she gets her ult, but she does have a nerf to her repair pack distance, which means you have to make up for the lack of healing reach as Mercy. My prediction is that the way you pocket Brig is really just going to depend on what she's doing at the moment. If she's brawling, then pocket her. If she's not, then help the rest of your team. I think damage boosting her when she's brawling is still really strong. I know Cosmic and Scotty didn't really agree with me on this, but I think it's gonna be even stronger in season 4. She can just get her rallies so much faster with damage boost. However, I still think that for this season and for the upcoming season, she's just going to stay in the same tier because realistically speaking, you can't be pocketing a Brig the entire time.
Kiriko. She's not that great to pocket.
No, she also just like TPs out. The one nice thing though is that your beam does stay attached when she TPs, so you can get some like really long GAs. I would probably put her above Brig.
She's definitely better than Brig. The thing with her is very inconsistent. She's very self-sustaining. She doesn't really need you that much.
Does so much damage on her own.
Yeah, that's about it.
I personally found more value in damage boosting my Kiriko as the season went on. I still think she stays in the same place though. She doesn't need much help. She's just above Brig because she has more damage range than Brig. I don't think there'll be any change to how we pocket Kiriko either, but we will have to see.
Lucio.
I would put him in Why Are You Doing This? But I do feel like he's better than Torb.
What? No, I think
Torb is just a superb L.
no.
I said what I said.
I think Lucio's probably one of the worst heroes.
Oh, Lucio's terrible to damage boost, but like Torb.
He's not better than Torb. Sad for the Torb.
I'm not. I would put him in Why Are You Doing This? But I would also put Torb in Why Are You Doing This? So
Why is Torben D again? Oh, because Scotty. Where should we put Lucio?
I put him before Sombra and Why Are You Doing This?
Yeah, he's fine there.
I will always stand by Lucio's slander, though I will say it does feel kind of good to have a Lucio on my team after the GA nerfs because I feel like I'm going faster and my GA wasn't nerfed. Mercy Lucio just does not provide a lot of healing, and it's going to be even worse going forward because Mercy is going to have her healing nerfed. There are times when I'm rezzing and Lucio just randomly speed boosts and I get my res cancelled, which is not really the fault of the Lucio player, but that is still such an annoying thing to have happen to me. I'm gonna keep him in this tier for this season, and if next season there's another Lucio that cancels my res, I'm gonna drop him into a lower tier.
What's happening if you're pocketing a Mercy?
No limits.
Echo ult.
Actually, I've thought about this a lot. If Echo accidentally dupes a Mercy, I just Valk and like go shoot them. Because my Echo needs to heal my team to get her ult.
Oh, that's true.
A lot of Echoes do this where they accidentally do Mercy and they panic and they start DPSing, but that gets you ult a lot slower. So I'd rather go shoot someone to possibly get cooldowns out or get a kill. But that's it.
I'd put them after Sombra and the Why Are You Doing This? Just because, like, what?
I don't have any comment on this.
Oh my god, Moira. I have thoughts.
I think Moira after Brig, C tier. Damage boost, damage orb. Oh no, Coalescence, C tier.
I think Moira's B tier.
She's like the definition of mid.
I'd put her bottom B tier.
That's probably accurate.
Let's get this Moira.
People are like mad that I'm not putting Moira in S tier.
Oh my god, no.
I think there's some bias going on around here.
Moira is not S tier.
Moira
is really strong right now though.
She is really strong.
I think she's always been like this since the game came out. She's always just been...
I feel like Moira is what people are switching to now when they play Ana and the enemy is running dive.
Yeah.
Moira stays in the same place. I do like pocketing her when she's trying to kill flankers. I don't know, something about that makes me laugh. Moira in season 4 can fade in her coalescence, and I think that may be kind of annoying for Mercy players because we often damage boost Moira when she ults. If Moira decides to reposition in the middle of her ult, it's a little bit hard to tell where Moira is going to fade to. You can kind of tell the direction that Moira is going to fade to based on her fade animation. Even so, it does take me a split second sometimes to figure out where she went. So I think the main difference in pocketing Moira going forward is just to be really aware of what she's doing during her ult. That doesn't really affect her place on this tier list though. I think she stays in the same place.
Okay, Zen. I love pocketing Zen.
I'd probably put him after Bap.
Yeah, bottom A tier.
I would put him above Bap, and here's my reason. He needs more help than Bap, who has a shift.
And that is true, but
I feel like Bap just gets more done with pocket.
Yeah, it's just the value. The value's crazy on Bap. He's not hit scan, and
if Zen's gonna kill him, he's pretty much gonna kill him anyways without me.
yeah, I still think he's A tier with Babs. I don't know.
Zen also doesn't provide any utility to me.
True.
That's true. Well, no, hold on. He could kick people away. Whoa.
Whoa, that'll give me extra 10 seconds for my GA to come back. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's just like if you think about it, a pocketed Bap versus a pocketed Zen, the Bap's always gonna win. But I guess, but if you do have a Zen, you should be on his case, you know?
When I have a Zen, I get really worried. So much of it is dependent on Zen being good and popping off to be worth that having zero burst healing, you know?
Personally, I don't like getting random Zens unless I know they're really good. Because like having a toddler on your team.
I would rather play Mercy Lucio because Lucio doesn't require peels.
Yeah, honestly, I agree. And like Mercy Lucio, I will say a good thing about it is the speed makes me feel like I was never nerfed.
The speed reds.
That makes me angry though, because sometimes like they
Oh,
speed
you get
boost
pulled
and
off.
I get like,
Out?
yeah, I get out of it.
You get pulled off, especially in Val. It happens way too often. Or in Kiriko.
Oh my gosh. I like don't usually go for Res and Kyriol anymore. Because like the movement speed is so fast that you get like ripped out.
Instantly, yeah.
Yeah, so fast.
My favorite meta from Overwatch 1 was Mercy Zen. But in this game, it just doesn't work the same. In Overwatch 1, I feel like it was super structured, right? Everyone had their defaults.
Plus like double shield.
I'll take double shield with Mercy Zen was really good. But
I feel like it's because the game played slower.
in this game, it's different. It's like really on the fly, and I feel like Zen lags behind in speed.
Yeah.
Unlike Bap.
Yeah, someone was like, why is Ryan before Zen? I think that's kind of a good point.
Nah, I'd rather damage booster Ryan over a Zen. I don't see very many Ryans that hold shield for a while. They're so hyper aggressive. They will charge to the flank and then swing, kill someone, and then charge out. And if you're like ever nearby for when they're like in between their pins, that's when you just like do so much with damage boost.
And
The Ryans that hold shield for their team, like, I'm sorry, that game is probably going to be lost.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it sounds bad to most people. Oh my god, they're pinning in, but it's like they kind of have to play like that.
Yeah, the hero doesn't do anything otherwise.
Because we are on Mercy as opposed to like a
They need to
Lucio.
contribute value.
So it's kind of our fault.
Lots more damage. I feel like when there's a Ryan, a lot of times I see like a Ryan mirror. If one has a Lucio and one has Mercy, then at the very least you can help them get Shatter first.
Get Shatter first. I think we should meet at the middle and put him bottom 8.
Okay.
The range. But that's about it. Everything else is great.
I ended up really disliking having Mercy Zen. Even with Mercy's buffed healing in Season 3, it still feels like the game outpaces Mercy Zen, and I think that's gonna feel even worse in Season 4. But if you are running this comp, it's really important to keep your Zen alive and also help him out with damage boost. After some small adjustments, this is what we decided for the season tier list. And after playing for an entire season, this is how I changed the tier list. As you can see, most of it is the same. There were some very small adjustments. A lot of the changes came from noticing how different heroes would change their playstyles according to the current meta. And while I'm not excited for the season 4 Mercy nerfs, I am super excited to see how Lifeweaver will change the game. If you're interested in hearing more of my opinions or watching more of my gameplay, I stream on Twitch a couple times a week. I stream here on YouTube as well, and I'm pretty active on Discord, so join my Discord if you want to stay updated. Huge shout out to Gorgon, Ayana, Trixie, and Lemonade for providing me with some of the clips that you saw today. Anyway, that's all for me. See you in the next video.